When you come to Knoxville, you think of a few big names like Kinzer, Schatz, McCarl. Well, this weekend, starting tonight, you're going to think of other big names in a different side of dirt track racing. Richards, McCready, Bloomquist, Owens. That's because, once again, we are getting set for the Knoxville Late Model Nationals presented by Casey General Stores. One of those big names is right here going to join us. One of the biggest names in dirt track racing right now, that is Josh Richards. And Josh, we thank you for joining us right now, having a good time and beating the heat right now. But how's your trip into town been going for you?
It's been fantastic. It's been, no rain. We got, quite a bit of rain at Eldora last week, which is unfortunate, but, this weekend looks great.
Going to be a great racing weekend all weekend long, and the car count was kind of down last year, but that's going to change a bit this year again. But your success here has been great, but there's one thing missing from that success record for you here.
Yeah, we've, for whatever reason, we just haven't been able to pull off Saturday night. I think we've won 4 or 5 preliminary races and run second 4 or 5 times, and and then in 16 we ran out of fuel, and last year we broke running second at the end and was running Mikey back down, and it's just, I love coming to this place. Everyone's like, what's your favorite track? I'm like, Knoxville's still my number 2. If we can pull one off, it might catapult it to the front.
Now, when fans come here, there's a lot of talk about sprint car racing, obviously, but it's unique for the fans to have that different event, a big event like this for late models. But what's it like for you, the drivers, to have at least one event at such a prestigious event like this and place like this?
It's such an honor and a privilege just to be able to come here and for the the sprint car world to accept the late models, and I think we've over the years have earned the spot to be here, and the racing's been great, and the fans have been fantastic. So it's such a privilege and an honor to come here and race. It's so much fun as a driver. You just look forward to going out there and having a lot of fun and just racing.
2016, you picked up another World of Outlaws late model championship again, and then you shocked the entire world by saying, all right, not only am I going to go ahead and jump in the Lucas ranks, I'm going to lead the Rocket House car as well. Kind of talk about that now that you had time, about a year or so now, to kind of go over that entire transition. Looking back on it, what's that like now?
It was a tough decision to say. To say the least. It was a really tough decision, but it's something needed to happen, and things have been better since then. And Eric and Kelly Brock with Best Performance have done a phenomenal job, and Randall Edwards has been there. Brad, my other crew guy, coming on board this year. It's been tough. The Lucas schedule. Everyone's like, what's the difference? Well, a lot of difference is kind of the just logistics, where you race, and the type of dirt you race on, and the tire rules are a little different. So things are quite a bit different, even though the cars are the same. And to me, it seemed it takes the same to win on both sides, and you got to be on point and ready to go, and have everything, the chemistry and your timing right, in all aspects of it. Not just driving, but it's tough, and it's a lot of fun. But to pick up the championship last year was, I never would have thought that. I remember, last year at this race, I was focusing on trying to, try to win the race, and I was sitting over that crash at the end, getting into, blew a right front tire, getting into 3 at the end, and I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, well, the last couple of weeks have been rough, and we're losing points here, and it came right down to the wire, but it worked out. It actually, the way it worked out made it that much more special.
So when you came along with the Lucas Series last year, the first full year for you on that series, you brought 2 guys with you. Darrell Annigan came along with you, as well as Tim McCready. Did you know they were coming with you on that?
No, I didn't. I really didn't, I guess, to have any idea what was going on. A lot of guys have switched teams around last year, which doesn't happen a ton on the late model side. But at the end of the day, you race with so many great guys on both sides, and now that all the good guys are here this weekend. So even though it's a sanctioned event, so it's tough.
Now, looking back at your career, you've been on the road a lot your entire life, but you do have a wonderful wife, Andrea, with you. And talk about what it's like to have that life on the road, the married life on the road there for you, and the challenges and some of the privileges as well.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's not easy. My wife gave up a very successful career in NASCAR, and when we met, she traveled to every Cup race for 3 years, and we'd met in the middle of that, and she gave that up to be able to come and support me, with the racing, and she's been to every race since we've been together. So it's been pretty special, and it's really cool to get to enjoy that with her, and she sacrificed that for me to do this, and she's right there. Anytime we need something, she's giving signals or helping with the car. She's very competitive and in spirit, and it's very special.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of burning up here. I'm going to stand up for a bit there. So a little warm out here. So the weather going to be great this weekend here, race fans at Knoxville Raceway. 3 great days of racing, and all leading up to that $40,000 to win on Saturday night. But as we talk about Knoxville, the sprint car capital of the world, you ever given any thought to jumping in a sprint car before?
No, I did at one time. I actually ran one at Chillicothe years and years ago. It wasn't a full 410 sprint car. It was a wing car. I don't remember what engine it had. And it was a lot of fun. It was different, you know. And I was like, man, I don't know how these guys drive these things. And I felt okay by myself. Was pretty fast by myself. But I was like, man, when it comes time to race, and I'll let them do it. It's fun to watch them. So I'll just stick to the late model side.
Yeah, it's a whole different world when it comes time for sprint car racing. The late models, the left front tire comes up on a late model, the right front comes up on a sprint car for you there. But when you look at drivers like Tim McCready, who's had success in the open wheel world with the Chili Bowl win in '06, you ever thought about venturing into maybe that other part of it, or are you sticking to late models full time and that's it?
Late models really were, you know, I've had the privilege to run the Chili Bowl a few years and run some other cars, big block modifieds, and a little bit of non-wing stuff. But really where my heart is been in the late model world. It's just, you know, being grown up from a little kid in the chassis side of it and having a racetrack as a family when growing up, and just being, I mean, it's just in my blood. It's hard to get out of it. But I still enjoy other types of racing, but I'll just stick to this.
$40,000 on the line. I'm guessing at this point, with the struggles you've had on Saturday nights here, the money isn't really the thing. It's the trophy. That's more important to you right now.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, like I said, everyone's like, wow, well, maybe next year. I'm like, well, we'll come back, and we've had, it's been year after year. We've been really close. So I just come in completely open-minded, don't expect anything, and just go out there and race. And I mean, we got to earn it. The guys that we've gotten beat before, they've earned it, and it's come down to the wire. And so hopefully we can pull it off this year.
During the Sprint Car Nationals here, the common theme is when a driver finishes second couple of years, they end up winning it multiple years in a row. Donnie Schatz has won 9 of the 10 past years. I mean, it's been incredible. That's not happened in the late model side. It's really hard to win this thing more than once in a given time period here. Is there a reason for that? Is it just the competition, or is it just something that just hasn't happened yet?
I think just the competition. I mean, it's just it's really stout. I mean, it takes a lot. I know Mikey Marlar won the last 2 years, and he's been really tough here. And I mean, I think it's just the fact that everyone is so close and so good that it's anyone's race.
Might wonder if you might see an anyone but Mike Marlar banner flying across the racetrack 2 years in a row for that guy. We'll see if he can get it done again this year. But Josh Richards, we thank you for your time today. And last thoughts going into tonight. What kind of track you hoping for on Saturday night? I
don't know. I mean, the track guys do a phenomenal job here, so I don't really have any input. Whatever they give us usually is really good. So as long as it doesn't rain and get crazy, and we have it, we can move around and run multiple grooves and go out there and have fun.
All right, that's Josh Richards. We'll hope to see him in Victory Lane Thursday, Friday, and possibly on Saturday.